said, Mnangagwa, you allow this nonsense to happen. You allow Mnangagwa to insult an acting president at national events, insulting in general. How dare? This shows that Mnangagwa, you are behind this disrespectful acts. It's clear you are on a frolic of your own. We are going there while living our values and ethos. Zimbabweans, it's within our power to stop this nonsense. Mnangagwa has gone wrong, and go he must. We invited him to go peacefully, but instead he is digging in and continues to push the unconstitutional agenda of 2030. The only 2030 you will see is 8:30 on the clock. To all those who think we are afraid, those who think they can silence us, please read my lips in case you miss my words. Look at my face. Do you see any fear? Do you think you can scare us? Some have been holding meetings to inject us from ZANU PF. Mashu Rajayo. You think you can fire us from our party, which we brought with our own blood? Where were you?
In what can only be described as a mix between a political thriller, a tragic comedy, and a national intervention, a former member of parliament and seasoned war veteran, Comrade Blessed Geza, delivered a blistering address against Zimbabwe's current leadership with the precision of a courtroom prosecutor and the fury of a man who just discovered his wallet missing. He laid bare the deep political, economic, and social crisis facing the country. His message: Zimbabwe is being run like a family-owned tuck shop, and the shelves are emptying fast. This video provides a breakdown of the most electrifying moments from his speech, which range from personal regret to outright war crisis against corruption, nepotism, and economic looting. Let us listen to the following video clip for more context.
Good evening, fellow Zimbabweans. I am Blessed Geza, known to many as Bombshell. I'm joined by fellow colleagues who will address you. However, since our address last week, the leadership crisis in our country has been laid bare. Things have deteriorated economically, morally, and legally. And we therefore believe it will be unjust, unfair, and irresponsible on our part to remain silent or not to act. It is important for us to chart a course of action which will redeem us a nation and restore our future. Let me, from the onset, make a few things very clear. I'm a ZANU PF Central Committee member. Hakuna anondidzinga brutamba. A war veteran and former member of parliament. We have served this country with distinction. As I speak, I represent fellow Zimbabweans with ZANU PF members, disgruntled but afraid to speak. And there are many of them, members of the security forces, who sacrificed their lives for Operation Restore Legacy. That has yielded nothing for their families. And I also speak for the poor and forgotten, whose dreams and hopes have been crushed by a clueless and hopeless government of corrupt and greedy individuals led by Emerson Mnangagwa and his children. Yes, his children who have become de facto prime ministers in this country. It's not a secret. I wish to firstly apologize to all of you for being one of the people who worked hard and invested a lot of personal resources to oust the former President Robert Mugabe, the late, from power and usher in Mnangagwa into office. I am deeply sorry And with hindsight now, I regret this. We replaced Mugabe with a minister, a Korokoza. It is us who gave you Mnangagwa. We put you in State House with the hope that you would reset our country on a path of recovery, respect the Constitution, and give our people hope. As soon as he had the taste of power, he escalated corruption, forgot the people, and remembered only his family. Mnangagwa has also surrendered state power to his wife and children. We are sadly seeing history repeating itself. We can't allow that to happen. Why now, some people would ask, why not now? We as war veterans are trained, disciplined soldiers. Even when we are unhappy, we are not quick to take action. We follow the line of command. We engage with the hope of solving matters without bringing shame to our leaders. I assure you, we have tried this, but we have come to a conclusion that it's not possible to bring desired change from within a ZANU PF, which has lost all values and principles, is encompassed by our wartime mantra, Gutsa Rushinji. Not Gutsa Mnangagwa nembava dzake. Many in ZANU PF today are chancers, looters, and with no moral canvas or compassion. Ask yourself honestly today, who owns the most mines in the country? Who has the biggest houses today? Who has the top jobs? Who are our ministers today? Imbava idzodzi. Kuvedu vana vaishaitawo chii. We fought for a Zimbabwe where everyone would have a seat on the table. Not for these chiefs we now call Mbinga or Vigananda. Men died as we fought the former colonial oppressors. Our people died. Our colleagues died and lie in unmarked graves. All these who are dead had hope for a prosperous Zimbabwe. That dream the head has been lost because of a few thieves clothing themselves with borrowed robes of power. We the people of Zimbabwe are the owners of those robes, and we are here to take them back. This past week, one of the West finance ministers, a Laos beggar of note, Mutulu Ngwe, announced silly measures which he said were aimed to bring formalization of the economy. One of his ideas was to give vendors POS machines on the roadside. The other was to cut supplies to vendors from manufacturers. These measures have nothing to do with fixing the economy, but at enriching Mnangagwa and his thieves. As we speak, one of the crooks already is a tender to supply the POS machines. Another will be the middleman. He has already taken clearance and will be buying from the manufacturers, then inflate the prices before selling to vendors. These measures will do nothing but make life harder for the ordinary Zimbabweans. It looks like ED has established a ministry of pain and suffering for the majority in his office.
The address began with a heartfelt, if not slightly awkward confession. Comrade Blessed Geza admitted that removing the former president of Zimbabwe Robert Mugabe from power was in hindsight a colossal mistake. He thought they were pressing the reset button on Zimbabwe. Little did he know they were hitting the self-destruct button. We put this man in the state house hoping he would fix the country. Instead, he fixed himself and his family, he lamented. He acknowledged that Zimbabwe's so-called New Dawn has instead become the same script, different actors. Mnangagwa, rather than bringing economic recovery, had merely repackaged corruption with a new label, one that now prominently features his own children as shareholders. The speech then took a deep dive into Zimbabwe's ever-worsening economic woes, as he put it, the biggest disappearing act since David Copperfield. The government's latest brilliant economic reform, giving street vendors POS machines. Comrade Blessed Geza mockingly indicated that, of course, what Zimbabwe really needs is for unemployed citizens to have contactless payment options for their tomatoes and roasted maize. Meanwhile, the Comrade Blessed Geza sneered, the only people who benefit are government cronies. One gets the tender to supply the machines, another is the middleman, and by the time the vendors get them, they are paying 5 times the original price. The result: not economic formalization, but yet another cash grab operation for politically connected few. The rich get richer, while the poor are told to tighten their belts that have long since run out of notches. At this point, the speech took a turn toward the Shakespearean as the Comrade Blessed Geza accused President Mnangagwa of transforming the state into a family business. His children are now the de facto prime ministers, he exclaimed. His wife is making national decisions. Meanwhile, Zimbabweans are out here looking for jobs, while the biggest employer in the country is Mnangagwa's surname. To illustrate his point, he asked a simple question: who owns the biggest houses, the most luxurious cars, the biggest mines in Zimbabwe? Spoiler alert, it's not the war veterans, the teachers, or the struggling entrepreneur. To drive the point home, he gave the ultimate example of excess. Even the generals of our army can't afford the Rolls Royce that Mnangagwa's son drives to work. Where is that money coming from? To know more about this story, stay tuned. Welcome back to the Fraud News channel. I'm your host, Boss Robert. To those who have subscribed to our channel, we appreciate your support. To those who haven't, please show your brother some love by subscribing and clicking that notification bell so that you won't miss any future videos and giveaways to come. Back to the story. Continuing on his address to President Mnangagwa, Comrade Blessed Geza moved on to the plight of Zimbabwe's workers, particularly government employees. Civil servants, no. They are civil slaves, he thundered. Let us listen to the following video clip for more context.
Civil servants are now civil slaves, working for peanuts, day in and day out. What kind of reward system do we have that does not recognize skill, education, and work delivery? Everyone in government except my chef earns $200. What kind of witchcraft is that?
Comrade Blessed Geza pointed out the absurdity of a country where soldiers, nurses, and teachers struggle to make ends meet on $200 salaries, while politicians host million-dollar birthday parties and import luxury vehicles. How is it that a country where the economy is in shambles, politicians are the only ones who never seem to run out of money? He questioned. Meanwhile, those who dare to ask questions are silenced, demoted, or conveniently charged with undermining state authority. As the speech approached its climax, Comrade Blessed Geza delivered an unfiltered warning to the ruling elite. Some of you think you can scare us. You think you can silence us. Look at my face. Do you see any fear? He declared. We are the people who fought for this country. We are the people who bled for this country. And now we are here to take it back, he declared. The speech concluded with an urgent call for action, urging all Zimbabweans, local and in the diaspora, to unite in rejecting the current leadership's continued mismanagement. The power is ours, he declared, and we will not sit back while a few thieves wear borrowed robes of power, he proclaimed. The address delivered by the war veteran, Comrade Blessed Geza, was nothing short of a political bombshell. It was a mixture of fiery rhetoric, brutally honest, and a touch of humor that only Zimbabweans could truly appreciate. At its core, the message was clear. Zimbabwe is not being governed, it is being looted. The economy is not being fixed, it is being milked. The country is not moving forward, it is being driven in reverse gear by a political class with no license and no brakes. And so, as the curtain falls on this fiery speech, one thing is certain. The Zimbabwean people are watching. Whether the ruling elite chooses to listen or not, one truth remains. The last dance before sunset may soon be playing out in real time. If you have enjoyed the video, consider liking it. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please show your brother some love by subscribing and clicking to the notification bell so that you don't miss any new videos and giveaways to come. Also, remember to share your thoughts on this video in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. See you on the next video. God bless you.